Alright guys, we have one half of the highly anticipated 8th anniversary EZAs. They are rainbowed, they are level 10 links. Cannot wait to try these guys out. We are starting with the Buu duo. We have them on a pretty stacked team, and can we just appreciate how much health we have right now with this crazily stacked team? So they are starting with a 795k attack stat, 386 on the defense. Now you can pop them in slot 1, because if you put them in slot 1, they will receive an additional key +1 per keys for obtained, one-time 50% damage reduction, and also a 50% chance to dodge a super attack temporarily. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, in terms of who I have them linked up with, I don't think it... I mean, we actually lose a little bit of attack stat, but I mean, we lose key. But I think I'm going to run it like this, because we've got a ton of orbs in front of us. 24 key. Let's grab that. They're also starting with 300% attack and defense with guaranteed guard at all times. So in slot 1, they've got guard, they've got 50% damage reduction, and they've also got 50% chance to dodge if they get supered. So let's see if that's what they do. Already we're starting off strong with a dodge, and we are starting with a 31 million attack stat, where they're massively raising defense by 100% and greatly raising attack by 50% for one turn. The 12 key super is going to massively raise defense again by 100%, but raise attack by 30% for one turn instead. Big defensive raises to go with that guard, to go with that damage reduction in slot 1. And then if you put them in slot 2, you receive an additional key +2 per key sphere obtained, and 60% damage reduction one time in that turn as well. So again, a lot of defense with the amount of times these guys can super attack, to go with the guaranteed guard, to go with the one-time damage reduction. All of this extra defense is going to add up. And we're starting with double digits, which, I mean, considering this is a 11th anniversary fight, I'm pretty sure this Goku starts at like just over 5 milli on a super, well over a milli on normals. I will actually take them taking double digits. They dodged the super, they did exactly what they needed to do in slot 1, and then prior, or after super attacking, should I say, they're tanking double digits. That's exactly what you want to be seeing. And then not only that, when they do receive an attack, again, one time, but this builds up multiple times in that one turn, you do gain 50% defense after receiving an attack. So you can actually build up in that one turn quite a bit of defense for the Buu duo. But already a pretty good start. And the thing that I love about this unit is not only what we're building to. Like, let's not forget. And I've seen some murmurings, and don't get me wrong, I get where it's coming from. You know, a lot of people are saying, you know, the 8th anniversary EZAs look quite underwhelming. Remember what these units are. You know, from what I'm seeing, their EZAs are pretty solid, but you are building, especially with these two, you are building a nuke. You have a whole rocket, a nuke, sitting in your back pocket until you are ready to pop your standby, go into standby for a few turns, build up your standby gauge, your meter, and then unleash basically a guaranteed kill on whatever enemy you're facing. Remember, that's what you're building to. Remember, that's what you want this unit to do. You want this unit to basically survive, probably do enough damage, but tank, build up as much possible damage as you possibly can, hop into standby, essentially do the same thing, which their standby looks almost unkillable, by the way. I think both units kind of do, considering the other guys have a revival, but their standby for the Buu duo, as I said, just looks unkillable, pretty much. And then you nuke the enemy with the Spirit Bomb. So I get it, you know, they don't have 80, 100%, you know, percent upon percent of damage reduction with guard, with 70% chance to dodge, with, you know, 80, 90 mil on a super attack. But this isn't what that unit's supposed to be. So the fact that they're doing almost 40 mil and they super attack several times in one turn, which means they're doing well in excess of the one time, maybe two time, like 70 million super attack, 60 mil you may want this unit to do. But remember what you're building towards. They're built enough to survive, They do solid enough damage with multiple super attacks to also make sure they survive, but do a solid amount of damage along the way, especially if the hidden potential system pops along the way. So you hit another additional, so you hit another crit, giving you all that extra defense and just overall extra damage. If you crit along the way, that's even more damage. But they do enough where they are still strong enough to be on the team, surrounded by some of the best units in the game who do these big numbers, who are these heavy hitters. And then, I said, when you're ready to essentially win, you just hit the win button. You hit the W button, like on their keyboard. You just tap it and go, whoop, we win. And that is when you hop into the standby, and that is when you launch the Spirit Bomb. So remember what these units are. Remember what this unit is for. And it's primarily that. So to finish off their passive, when attacking with 12 or more ki, they do also gain 150 attack. I hope Gogeta... Okay, Gogeta is good. They also gain, when attacking with 18 or more ki, which of course they did on the first turn, they had 24. That is a guaranteed additional super. Then when you attack with 24 ki, which of course again they did, that's another guaranteed additional super and a one-time guaranteed additional super. This is what I mean. Even without the guaranteed one-time additional super, this unit just does so much amounts of damage because of how many times they can super attack, which is a big help in terms of building them up. I mean, look at the defense already. 3.14 million because of all those super attacks in the beginning, because they're raising their defense by 100%. This unit is here, as I said, to do solid amounts of damage. As I said, not like 70, 80 mil off of like one super attack and then 50 on the additional. No, 30, 40 on their super attacks. Do multiple of them, like 3, 4 minimum, and then build up as much defense as you can so they survive, and then you drop the KO button. I mean, even with their attack, they're up to 937. They have an extra link active with Vegeta. We're also going to be getting 24 ki again, which means we're getting guaranteed additional supers. And so far, that's another good thing. It looks like getting their 24 ki so we can get those guaranteed additionals. No dodge, but we'll see how they tank. Type to survive, 3 mil, guaranteed guard, all that good stuff. 863, but because we have so much health, we're still alive. I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot of damage to take. Kinda wish they super attacked. I did say if they don't dodge the super, you'd probably die. The fact that here, I get this is not the most difficult event or stage in the game, but the fact that with type disadvantage and not a whole lot else going on with them, and they didn't dodge and they survived, do you know what? I'll take it. Especially because this is a 11th anniversary content. Again, I know it's not the hardest, but this Goku isn't exactly weak, should we say. But I'll take it. I said the fact that they survived and we didn't have like 1% HP left, I'll definitely take. Is over 800k a lot of damage to take? 100%. Because there are some teams where that gets you one shot. But I did say when it comes to super attacks that if they don't dodge, this unit would probably be a little bit fragile. And clearly, that is the case. However, they did survive. Annoyingly though, I'm not seeing Super Saiyan 3 Diamond Vegeta EX super attack once. I know this isn't about him, but I just realized he super attacked 4 or 5 times, and I haven't seen him do it once. Finally. He heard me badmouth and was like, cool, shut up, watch this. And then for the last bit of the Buu Duo's passive, for every super attack performed, which of course, again, with all the possibilities from 18 and 12 ki, and hidden potential system of launching guaranteed additional supers, chance when it comes to hidden potential, of course, but a lot of guaranteed potential for guaranteed supers. For every super attack performed, you gain ki +2 and a chance to crit of 20% up to 100%. So if these guys super attack enough, which is permanent build up by the way, they get guaranteed crit, which means again, these over 30 mil super attacks they're doing, and then like 20 mil on the additionals on the 12 keys, they will add up, because if you're critting on every single one of them, the damage adds up. So again, I know it's not like a big 80, 100 mil, but multiple that are doing anywhere from like high 20s to mid 30s, and multiple of them have guaranteed crit, that's a decent amount of damage when you really think about it. But that key build up is actually just so important. And because every time you perform a super attack and gain ki, I mean, you want to be gaining ki or as much ki as possible. Because again, when you hit 18 or more ki, guaranteed additional. Hit 24 ki, guaranteed additional. If you hit 24 ki one time, you get that other guaranteed additional you get for one time only. So that's also a big help at self-sustaining them, to get that build up, to make sure you're always getting what you want with them. Now, in terms of what I'm going to do here, I think I'm going to pop an Usher just to make sure we survive. I mean, we probably do with UI Goku, but I mean, we are on 4% health. I know that's still 43k total health, but I just kind of want to make sure we survive. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure that happens. You know, at least it's not the Boo Duo's turn. But overall, so far, I'm liking this EZA a lot. Again, I understand the qualms. You know, it's nice to see, like, the big anniversary EZA do crazy amounts of damage and have crazy amounts of defensive capability when it comes to dodge, damage reduction, guard. Which, to be fair, this unit does kind of had that in some shape or form. But basically just feel unstoppable. But for the most part, this unit's doing very well. I know they took a lot of damage, but over 3 mil defense is still pretty good to be at after, what, 1 turn of supering. They've only had 2 appearances. And they had type disadvantage and didn't dodge. And I think it was quite obvious from their kit that if they didn't dodge the super attack, they're probably going to take some damage, especially if their defense isn't where it needs to be, which, while just over 3 mil defense is quite a bit, it's not exactly a lot anymore nowadays, which is actually just still crazy to think about. So, again, while they did take quite a lot, the fact they survived, I'll take that as brownie points. I'm not going to lie to you. I will take that as brownie points. Now, we are waiting for the standby, which we can do when our HP is at 50% or less, or just starting from the 4th turn if they perform 4 or more supers, which with all the guaranteed additionals means you can get ASAP. Now, in terms of where they're sitting right now, of course, that is ready. They do have a 4.19 million super attack. So again, I don't think any normals in this game is going to touch this unit. The super attacks, I mean, do you know what? Again, they've appeared twice. So the fact they've had a 4.19 million defense stat, maybe with a damage reduction, actually not damage reduction, maybe with the guard. Barring like turn 1, maybe turn 2, depending on who the enemy is. From turn 3 onwards, maybe this unit might be okay, apart from like maybe Bio Broly. But let's pop this standby. I haven't seen this in so long.
Let's do it now. It's time. Prepare for the spirit bomb. Right. Please, everyone, please give me all the energy you can. I really need it. Thank you. Whoa! Here it is! I'm going to buy you some time.
Now it's time to start building our meter. So, of course, we're unable to attack, but this isn't what this unit is meant for. And this is also where all the defensive stacks are going to help a bit extra when it comes to standbying into Vegeta. So we actually have about 3.99 million defense. We do have 500% defense just as a base. And of course, we need to be picking up as many key spheres as we possibly can to fill up that finish score. From 4 turns, we also will have guard, and we'll randomly change key spheres of a certain type to rainbow orbs. That's of course also going to help us build up that meter by having the orb changing. And then starting from the 5th turn from the character's entry turn, Vegeta will change all key spheres, or change all key spheres to fizz and rainbow. So if things are getting a little bit techie, maybe picking up orbs is being a little bit slow for you. You know, you're getting a little bit unlucky with RNG. Vegeta will just go, here you go. Here's all the orbs you need. Here you go. Take them. Take the entire field. And then for every key sphere obtained, whether that is going to be just the standard orbs we pick up now or from turn 5, which is kind of crazy to think about when he's going to change all of the entire field. For every key sphere you pick up, you'll get 11% damage reduction up to 100%. Which is why I say, once you go into standby with this unit, which, don't get me wrong, again, this is what you're building towards with this unit. It's survive, it's tank, do some solid damage along the way, and get to this. And this is why I think in standby, this unit is unkillable. Because you're talking all the defense you've stacked so far along the way, which you could actually stack a bit more if you wanted to. But you're already looking, I think, before we entered the standby, about 4 milli. Guaranteed guard, 500% defense, orb changing to help you pick up orbs for the standby or for the finish skill. But then you get 11% damage reduction up to 100% for damage reduction to go on top of all the defense you would have by now, which again, ours was just over 4 mil, with the 500% defense and guaranteed guard. Like, how do you kill this unit while they're in standby? I don't think it ever happens. Now, of course, that's probably the point of this unit, because this is the game winning play. This is what you're building towards. You'd be kind of dead if you just managed to die, but I don't ever see how this unit dies when you are in standby. I don't think it's possible. Unfortunately, other units can die. But one thing that's pretty crazy, which I've already done, as you can see, we've got a 41 charge, is the 11th Anniversary Part 2 SSJ4s, specifically the SSJ4 Goku active skill, where he changes the entire field to int orbs, is actually a big help to filling up the Z Duo's finish gauge. Like, I literally just did it and it got me all the rest of the orbs that I need. But changing the entire field, like, you can pick up almost half the field, if not more, at any one given time to fill up the gauge and really help. I just thought that was a great thing to have. But to round out the passive, every key sphere obtained, again, you're looking at 11% damage reduction up to 100%, which I think is insane. 7 or more key spheres obtained, 77% attack, which you're consistently building, by the way, for the big nuke of a finish skill, which I'm making sure the animations are back on for this because I'm not missing that. And then when you use it, you get 888% attack. And of course, because we hit the big 39 or more charge count, we will raise attack by 20% temporarily, cause super ultimate damage to the enemy. So we have a charge count of 41. We're going to pop the finish skill and we're going to do a whole load of damage.
Here it is! Nothing is Thank you! Dragon Balls! You fought pretty well. I'm impressed. See you around.
So not as much as, of course, we would have hoped. I mean, we could have collected more key spheres. We could have made them do even more damage. But I think for what we wanted to do, for what we wanted to show off in such a short amount of time, because it was only like, what, turn 5? Turn 7. You know, we weren't in standby for too long. We actually could have gone an extra turn or two. I think it was a pretty decent amount of damage with type disadvantage. But think about it this way. If you're in a longer event where you've got time, or you're not essentially just trying to show them off, and you're actually trying to build them up properly, think how much damage that's going to do. Think how much damage that could do in Festival of Battles when you've got Vegeta and Trunks stacking them up while they're stacking up defense and you basically nuke the last enemy. So I think for pretty much a kill switch, I think they are very, very good. I know people wanted way more essentially from base, if you will, but I think they do enough and they stack enough defense quickly to the thing that they're meant to do, which is survive, then go boom. I think they do it really, really well. And another great unit to go on these pretty stacked teams. And again, that SSJ4 Goku active skill is a big help in filling up that finish gauge once you do use his. But overall, I really do like this unit. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. We'll do the SSJ4 Vegeta and GT Goku tomorrow. Been very, very busy. I do apologize for that. But it is what it is. But I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Have a great day. And peace.